it's Rebecca. We're going live late at night. I just had a massage. This is my massage hair. See? I'm a little crazy. I have a therapist that comes to the house and it's just the best because I can get a massage late at night and then I can roll into bed. But in this case, I got my second wind and here we are. So, often before I do these Facebook Lives, I just ask, like, what is it that we need to talk about? What is it that these amazing people need to know? What should we address? What can we open up a little bit? So tonight, I want to share with you two things that I would love to see change across the whole industry and why. And I would love to know your thoughts on this, all right? So if you're watching live with me or if you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments down below so that I know that you're here, okay? And yeah, and let's just dive in here. Pricing. I think that one of the biggest issues I see in this industry is massage therapists have really weird pricing. The vast majority of people that get into my 8-week business academy, once we just take a very basic look at numbers, it's obvious that they're not charging enough. I would assert that most massage therapists out there are just literally not charging enough because you set your rates based on like what you think people can pay, which is super lame. Don't do that. All right, and don't set your rates based on what other therapists are charging either. It's like literally crazy to do that. All right, so you have to set your rates based on what's going to get you to your own financial goals and having your needs met and things like that, okay? So, hi, Jaeger. What's up, Rach? Oh, good to see you guys. So, also, again, a lot of massage therapists, thank you, Jaeger, just coming out of school, do something silly, which is, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Jaeger, but they look at like, well, what does my instructor charge? And I'm going to charge $20 this and that because I'm not as good as my instructor. You don't get paid for how good you are. Also, that's totally subjective, okay? And you don't get paid for the effort you put into each session. You don't get paid for how long you've been in practice. Although some of those things can influence your pricing strategies, that's not how you set your rates. So, that being said, the two things I'd love to see change, oh, and I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say about this, is I think that massage therapists should stop accepting tips. The end. Okay, that's number one. Stop accepting tips. Just raise your rates. Raise your rates to include a tip. You don't have to say that, but it's like just have a flat, just stop accepting tips. Tell your clients you don't accept gratuities. So this is not a gratuity-based service that $95 for an hour, whatever you charge, that is just what you charge. Gratuities are not expected, nor are they accepted. You guys, you cannot tip your doctor. It's considered unethical. Why do we allow this in our industry? I just feel like this is a practice that if we could implement across the industry would elevate the industry. And as y'all know, that's really my mission and my purpose is to elevate the industry by having massage therapists thinking differently about the things that they have just long held as fact, all right? So can we stop accepting tips and recognize that we're not like, you know, waitresses, you know, servers, bartenders, cocktail waitresses, bell, you know, like hotel staff, that their payment structure is that they make like $3 per hour and their tips are based on their being Johnny on the spot, like delivering service and anticipating needs. That's just not what we do. We're professionals. We are professionals, okay? So, you're sipping my tea. All right, so I just really would implore you all to consider this and engage in dialogue about this with other massage therapists, with your instructors at school, with your community, with your peers and your colleagues, is, you know, what would happen if we just stopped accepting tips? Now, again, I'm speaking to those of you in private practice because that's what this group is about. If you work at a spa, you work at a franchise, you work for someone else, obviously you don't set your pricing and you get paid whatever your commission is or whatever your hourly wage is. So I'm not talking to you if that's the situation you're in. I'm talking to people who have control over their rates and their prices, all right? So I think everybody could immediately give themselves a $10 to $20 raise if you just stop accepting gratuity. The other thing that this would do is it would raise the, I literally have not seen the average price for massage move in like 20 effing years. I know plenty of therapists that are still charging $60 an hour, which is like what I was charging in the year 2000. It's crazy. It's like we have this race to the bottom because people that don't have a niche can only compete on price. So we keep lowering. There's this, I've mentioned this before, there's this place I drive by in my neighborhood. It has this big banner outside, and I know the owner, and it says, home of the $50 massage. And I'm just like, can we stop this? It's a race to the bottom, and it hurts everybody when we're just trying to compete on price and be the lowest. That's just not what this is about. Okay, so the second thing, so let me know what you guys think about that. Just, think about it, ponder it, consider it fully, pray about it, meditate on it, talk about it. And what do you think would happen if you just stopped accepting tips, okay? And what would happen in the industry? What kind of impact would that be? So then the second thing is that we should stop charging for add-ons and upgrades. That's another thing I think is kind of lame. And, it's like there are certain massage establishments that shall remain nameless that their whole business model is, our monthly members or whatever, it's like $59 for an hour massage. But then they're like, but if you want to use, this type of oil or lotion, it's an extra $10. Or if we add one essential oil, it's another $20. Or if you want deep tissue, it's another $10. Or if you want a foot hot towel, that's another $5. And I just think it's dishonest, and I think it's deceitful, and it really doesn't serve people. And if really what we're about is the results that we produce and the level of care and just awesomeness that we provide for people, then we should raise our rates to cover all that stuff. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to clean up my language at the request of a few nice people in this community. It's, just instead of, and please, definitely don't charge more for deep tissue, because that puts this message out there that we're getting paid based on effort. And that's completely subjective. Honestly, I think it's harder to give a very light massage. I'd rather you throw my body weight into people. So you just cannot charge more based on effort. Plus, I think a massage should really deliver what the client needs. It's your job as a therapist to have the skills and the confidence and the communication ability to really determine what path to take to help this client get the results or the experience that they're looking for. It's not up to the client. It's totally not up to the client. Unless it's a spa-like experience where people just want to have an experience of let's try ashiatsu. That sounds cool. Step all over me. Or, hot stones. I've never done that. Let's try that. Most of us are not doing novel services for people circus performers. We're not check out my new fancy tricks that I've trained my hands to do. Woo! It's not what we do, and I don't think most of us want to be seen that way. So if you are just raising your rates so that you are covered, if you decide to throw in some essential oils, or you decide that this person needs hot stones, or you decide that this person needs a bit of acupressure or reflexology or whatever it is that you do, a trip to your infrared sauna or something like that, hot towels after the session, that type of thing. I just think it allows us to serve people without this barrier of, I got to upsell you on something, or, I'm just going to throw this in the session because you really need it. Don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for it. Kind of garbage, giving away, what you should be compensated for and what you have actual, costs for. Okay, so that's my thinking, is stop accepting tips and raise your rates so that you don't have to charge extra for add-ons, and just give everything you've got to people as you determine they need it. And then you can always throw that into a session. I swear to you, when I do massage therapy, I never not use essential oils. I always use essential oils because I love them. I'm trained in them. I understand the therapeutic benefits of them. Those are tools to me that are as valuable as my hands. And it would be like To give a massage without using essential oils would be like giving a massage without touching a person. Like, it's not possible, right? So I don't want to be like, oh, I got to withhold this tool from somebody that I really have to give them just because I have to upsell them on it. Is this making sense, you guys? Or, you know, or I might do have like massage brain and late night brain. Let me pause for a sec and take a look at your comments. I love seeing you guys. Hi, Candace. Happy, long time no see. Jaeger says, hell yes, amen, preach. Okay, and then Rach says, how often is too often to raise rates? I increased from 65 to 80 for an hour last August. I think you can raise your rates every year by $10. The only time you would need to do that is, or even $5. Guys, like, literally do the math. Let's say you do, just check this out, okay? Hold on, let me grab my calculator. Okay, if you're already comfortable with your rates, you can raise them like $5 every year. Your clients won't even notice, so truly. Okay, when you do a strategic price increase, like I have a lot of my students do, you have to do that in a certain way based on really informed numbers. But let's just take, for example, let's say you do 20 sessions a week at 4.5 weeks per month. That's 90 sessions a month. And let's say you work 10 months out of the year. Or let's say 10 and a half. Okay. 10 and a half months out of the year, you're going to perform 945 massages in a year when you have a full practice. Okay? Now, watch what happens. Let's say, Rach, let's say you're charging, I'll just use your number, $945. Okay? And we're going to multiply that by $80 an hour. Okay, $80 a session. So your gross annual revenue would be $75,600. Okay. Now what happens when we raise it $5? What did I just say? 76,500. I can't remember. I cleared my calculator. 85. That adds another $4,500. It's now your gross annual revenue is $80,325. That's nearly $5,000 more to your bottom line by raising your rates just $5, which your clients literally won't even notice. It's almost like insulting, like $5. You know, I get a latte at Starbucks. It costs me $5. It's like, you know, and I value my massages and my massage therapist like far more than I value getting Starbucks lattes, right? Okay, so if 80, Rach, if you've done the, and I know you've done the work that I've taught you to, but if that's your like, you know, comfortable rate, then yeah, raise it $5 every year. Do it, easy peasy. Okay, but what you don't want to do is like raise your rates $15 and then 6 months later raise it another $15. Like, you know, unless you have you can do that. Actually, you absolutely can do that. It's just you want to make sure you do it strategically and that you have the proper context for it and the right kind of communication around your clients. And maybe you might lose some clients, but there's a lot of strategy around that if you do need to raise your rates, you know, significantly. That's like a 50% price increase in a 12-month period, which is a little bananas. So we're going to do that really carefully and only in certain circumstances, okay? Hi, Tilo. Yay. Happy says, yes, when I asked a certain chain if the optional foot scrub added on to the session time, they said no. Right, it's done within the session, but they charge you more. So they're charging more for the foot scrub and taking away massage time from the 50 or 80-minute session. Oh my gosh, which brings me to a third thing. We're getting a bonus. I said there's only two things. This is the third thing I'd like to see change in this industry. Stop 50-minute massages. They're so dumb. I don't know about you guys, but like 50-minute massages, I feel like it's like, I can't, it's so rushed. It's so, you can't efficiently do a full body massage in 50 minutes, at least myself. This is like a spa and kind of employer thing, which is let's be efficient with our time. Let's get as many massages in as possible. And 10 minutes between appointments, it's just not enough. And I don't like cutting out time. I don't like the 50-minute hour. I think we should absolutely get rid of that. An hour is 60 minutes. You know, give people a full hour. 75 minutes is even better, in my opinion. I hate doing less than 75-minute massages. So. All right, let's see here. Kaylin, I raised according to the average gratuity I was receiving. No complaints. Exactly. And then you have predictable income. Then you can actually, Because you know, like tips can add another chunk to your income that you can't count on. It's like, I don't know what my tips are going to be this year and all that stuff, right? So when you do that, it gives you predictable income, which I think is really good. Yeah, and Happy will not do 50-minute sessions. Good. Boom, more power to you. I won't do them either. I refuse. All right, you guys, so something to think about. I hope that was useful for you. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, yeah, buts, what ifs, just, what do you think? Are you going to implement any of those changes? Have you made those changes? How's it going for you? And of course, any questions at all that you have for me, feel free to post them below. So love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.